President Trump made doctors and staff at Walter Reed sign non-disclosure agreements before they could treat him last year. In an NBC News exclusive report, at least 2 doctors said they did not sign those agreements and they weren't allowed to care for the president during his surprise visit last November. Meanwhile, the White House still refusing to disclose specifics about Trump's health, citing health privacy laws. NBC News national security correspondent Courtney Kube co-authored that exclusive report and joins me now. Courtney, we still don't know why the president was in the hospital last November, but what have we learned? What else can you tell us from your exclusive reporting?
That's right. So at the time, the then White House Press Secretary Stephanie Grisham said that he went there to complete some part of his annual physical. The reason that drew so much skepticism, though, Allison, is because normally when the president's going for his annual physical, that's announced in advance. It's on the White House schedule. He takes a pool with him. You know, it's a pool being a traveling press corps with him. And in this case, it was very last minute. There was a lot of secrecy about it. Even doctors and staff at Walter Reed, who would obviously normally be involved and notified in advance of a physical, they weren't even notified until pretty much the last minute that the president was coming over. So it's been a visit wrapped in secrecy for nearly a year now. What Carol Lee, our colleague Carol Lee and I learned about this, one small piece of this secret visit, is that President Trump required not only his doctors there, but also non-medical staff to sign these non-disclosure agreements as part of his treatment there. Why that's so unusual? I mean, for starters, as an American citizen, the president has the normal rights that you and I have under HIPAA. And that means that his physicians cannot provide any kind of medical information about him without his permission, unless it's to another doctor treating him or to someone who's billing him. Well, he's not getting billed at Walter Reed, so that eliminates that. So he has that normal privacy right. But he required this additional non-disclosure, which is unusual. The second thing that's pretty unusual about it is the majority of the physicians who would be treating him there are active duty military. So they already have a level of clearance. Many of them have something that's called a Yankee White clearance. And basically that means that they are, it's an extra level of background check. They have to be American citizens. It's just a higher level of clearance and background check than even others who would be treating sort of normal patients there would have. So that's what makes this entire decision surprising. President Trump, of course, as a longtime businessman and a very wealthy man, it wouldn't be surprising in his personal life if he would do that, because others do. I spoke with a medical ethicist about this yesterday, and he said, look, a lot of these rich and powerful politicians or businessmen and women and stars, you know, actors and actresses, they'll require these of their physicians. But the president, that's what makes it unusual, Allison.
Courtney, do we have any sense if the doctors who treated the president for COVID last weekend were also asked to sign these kinds of forms?
We don't know. I mean, that was obviously one of the questions that we asked, and that's sort of where this all started, but we haven't gotten a good sense of that yet. You know, given the people who we spoke with for this story, it would and his propensity for requiring non-disclosures in many aspects of his life, it would make sense if he did, but we just don't know that for a fact yet, Allison.
Courtney, I know, as you mentioned, people have been trying to piece together what that Walter Reed visit last November was really all about. Thank you for filling in a piece of the puzzle. I know we still have a ways to go, but we're getting some answers at least about what was going on back then.
Thanks, Allison.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here. And click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.